Hey, all you excellent Xers out there. I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about just some nostalgia stuff. I'm going to freestyle. I'm just going to talk about stuff I remember from when I was a kid. Hopefully, bring back some memories for you. I didn't do a lot of research. I didn't do any research for this. I'm just going to go off my memories and just talk and hopefully reminisce with y'all. So if I get some stuff wrong, don't hold my feet to the fire. Just comment down below, correct me. That's what this is about. It's just about fun, free-flowing memories and reminiscences and ideas. So that's what I had planned for this video. First of all, when I was around 10 years old, we had three TV shows that we just had to watch. You had to watch them. So I know most of y'all had to watch them too, because me, my brother, my cousins, all of us, we had to watch this stuff. It wasn't a question. We had to stop whatever we were doing, no matter what it was, we had to go watch. The first one was Dukes of Hazzard. I know that y'all dropped what you were doing to go watch Dukes of Hazzard. I remember them jumping the General Lee a lot. I don't remember, I'm not sure I remember any specific episode of Dukes of Hazzard, not really. I remember Roscoe P. Coltrane and his dog. I think the dog's name was Flash, right? I remember Boss Hogg, Bo and Luke Duke, Daisy Duke, and of course my favorite character of the whole show was Uncle Jesse. And they had like a friend that was a mechanic or something named Ernest or something like that. I can see the guy in my head, brown hair, wearing overalls and stuff, kind of probably grease on his hands and stuff, but I can't remember his name. So if you remember his name, put it down in the comments. No fair looking it up. All right. But yeah, my favorite character was Uncle Jesse. And even back then, I knew that one day, because of my brothers and sisters, I knew that one day that I would be Uncle Jesse. And today I am Uncle Jesse, so that's pretty cool. So I like being Uncle Jesse. And my nephew one time, he came up to me and called me Jesse. I said, no, that ain't going to work. I'm Uncle Jesse. Uncle Jesse, yep. I always wondered if the girls out there liked Bo Duke or Luke Duke better. Because I think, if I remember correctly, Bo was like the ladies' man. He was the one, the blonde guy. He was like the one that the girls liked. And Luke was more of the, just the common sense guy, the one that tried to keep Bo out of trouble and stuff. So, if I remember correctly. So, if you liked Bo or Luke Duke when you're a little girl, leave that down in the comments for me. Let me know. So I always wondered who was the most popular with the girls, because all of us guys like Daisy Duke. So that just goes without saying. When we were kids, she was like the prettiest girl, prettiest woman on the planet at that time. But I read somewhere at some point in my life that they had like 11 or 15 or something General Lees, and because when they would do those monster jumps, they actually did those things, and it would damage the vehicle, so they would have to swap out while that one was getting fixed. So they probably had a lot of parts for those things too. And the next show I'll talk about was 18, our favorite, which maybe some of y'all won't agree, but I think most of you will. It was B.A. Baracus, Mr. T. He was just everybody's favorite. Everybody I knew loved Mr. T. We all run around talking about we pitied the fool. Little 10-year-old kids, I pity the fool. He was just like a cultural phenomenon for 10-year-old kids back then. We loved Mr. T. He was just the most awesome guy. And B.A. Baracus, his character he played. Then they had Murdoch, Face, and the Colonel. I don't remember the old Colonel's name. I remember what he said. I love it when a plan comes together. I remember that saying. I don't remember. I think there was a girl, a lady, that was part of the team or maybe outside the team that liaison for him or something and talked to him a lot. but I don't remember her name. But I do actually remember one episode of A-Team, and that was the one where Murdoch was in a jail cell somehow, and he was screaming at the guards and stuff, "I want some trash bags, I want some trash bags," and they would keep bringing him trash bags to shut him up, right? And he'd get a new trash bag and he'd cuddle it or whatever, and he'd shut up for a while, and then like that trash bag would get stale and he'd start screaming again, "I want some trash bags." So anyway, that episode ended up with him inflating those trash bags with helium or something, and escaping like with a balloon, with like a bunch of trash bags inflated, and they like carried him over the wall. It was some dumb stuff we used to watch, but it was awesome. But old Murdoch, he was the crazy one. But that's the only episode of A-Team I really remember. I don't know why that one stuck in my head. So y'all can have fun trying to figure out why that one stuck in my head. And then the other show was Knight Rider. Everybody's favorite was Kit, of course. I mean, Michael Knight was cool, but that car, everybody wanted that car. Everybody wanted a Kit. I don't care who you are. And Kit was always telling Michael Knight not to do some shit, and it'd be like, Mike would be like, "No, we gotta do." Kit was like the straight guy, kind of like Luke Duke in Dukes of Hazzard. He was the straight guy, he was the level-headed one. Well, Michael Knight was always wanting to do some crazy shit, if I remember correctly. But he had that watch he could talk on, and he would talk to his car. But I don't really remember. I do remember one kind of brief glimpse of an episode where, well, that's probably every episode, where he would drive up into the back of a semi-truck. That was probably like his rolling home base, that semi-truck, now that I think about it. But I don't remember really any specific episodes of Knight Rider either. But he would run around saving people or solving crimes or whatever with his supercar with its AI built in it and stuff. So, and it had weapons and all kinds of different functionality built into the car as well. That was probably early 80s, right? Those were like those maybe late 70s, early 80s TV shows. But I do remember in any of those TV shows, all three of those TV shows, they would, like Dukes of Hazzard, they would, sometimes there'd be a shootout or something once in a while, or there was always crazy car wrecks and all this stuff, but nobody ever died. The A-Team was the worst with that stuff. They would have explosions and fired millions of rounds of ammunition. Nobody died. I don't think anybody died in Knight Rider either. So it was just this whole gratuitous, violent era, but nobody ever died because they didn't want to show kids death. But they'd show us all this violence. We were allowed to shoot guns and all this stuff, but you just couldn't hit anybody, and, with a deadly shot. Grenades and explosives and rocket launchers, just everything you can think of, but no death. Death was too much for us at that time, I guess. For the people that made those shows anyway. In the earlier 70s, when I was a little kid, all I remember is watching reruns of shows from like the 50s and 60s, the Andy Griffith Show and stuff like that. They were black and white. What was that show? I can't remember the name of that show. That it was in the Army, and that was Hogan's Heroes. Then there was another show about the Army. I can't even remember the name of the show now, but it was black and white, and there was like this goofy guy like this. He had an underbite, and there was this mean drill sergeant or something. Gomer Pyle. That's the guy. That was the guy's name, the private's name. I don't remember. Maybe that was the name of the show. I don't remember, but the private's name was Gomer Pyle. So y'all, if you know the name of the show, then put that down in the comments. But they had those kind of shows earlier in the 70s that I watched as a little kid. And then later in the 70s and early 80s, I was watching Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, and A-Team. All right. I'll leave you there. Hopefully I brought back some good memories. Hopefully not too many bad ones. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And leave a comment down below if you're so inclined. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by buying me a cup of coffee, and I'll put that link down in the description for you. If you're interested in Gen X gear, swag, or merch, I'll put that link down in the description too. We got some pretty cool stuff over there. Everything from mugs to stickers and t-shirts, all that. If you don't want to or cannot support the channel in either of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out a lot, and I really appreciate it, so thank you. And if you have any ideas for future videos, please let me know down in the comments. That's one of the things I really enjoy doing on this channel, is bringing your ideas to life. So that's really cool. So do that, please. Put your ideas down in the comments for me if you have any. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I will see you on the next one.